What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the worst show on the internet, aka the FloGrappling Show. As always, I'm Trey Robinson. We got Joey Gilps over here, Uncle Reed right there, and then Big Slack Barrett over on the ones and twos on the side desk. And I'll be honest with you guys, I'm a little sick.
Yeah, bummer, dude.
I'm feeling a little sick, so I don't have a lot to say this episode. I'm overcoming sickness. I've been sick for months now, And I hope to get better one day. But until then, I'm just a little sick guy. But we got to talk about who's number one. That's enough about me being sick. I just wanted people to know. So everyone in the comments say, get well soon, Trey. Make sure you send me some comments and say, get well soon. But we have Who's Number One coming up July 25th. There's a bunch of stuff going on FloGrappling this weekend. We have 6 events, right, this weekend?
6 events going on this weekend.
Yeah.
Also, there's going to be PGF, Air and Free on YouTube. But yeah, just on FloGrappling alone, 6 events. IBJJF Kids Pans all weekend. WNO, BJJ Stars, a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, Long Island Jiu-Jitsu Network. Shout out the boys at Long Island Jiu-Jitsu Network. They're trying to get me out there to Long Island, and I think there's going to be an opportunity. Nogi Pans this year is going to be in Long Island, so I'm excited. I've never been to Long Island. I want to go. They're claiming that it's this is like a hot spot, a little mecca on the East Coast with all kinds of gyms, all on Long Island stuff. So I don't know. Hopefully, maybe shoot some local spots or something down there too. But they have an event this weekend. There was Ocean last weekend, so the events are cranking on FloGrappling.com and other places. There's tons of events going on right now in the jiu-jitsu world, so it is a good time to be a grappling fan. But for us, the big event we have is Who's Number One 29 is going down July 25th. In Miami, Florida, we got the Rochas on the card. Kit Dale's coming back for his second WNO match. A bunch of other ones. But we're going to go through and kind of preview this whole card, what you should be looking out for. Have we published the betting odds yet?
No, I can pull those up, though.
Yeah, maybe we could just talk through them or something. Or even if just maybe we could send them to Slack, or that might be too hard. We can just talk about them.
I can send them to Slack.
To kick it off, I guess I'll go with you, Reed.
Here we go.
What match are you most excited for?
Man, a lot of great matches. I feel like overall, I'm just excited to check out Miami, to be honest. It's been a while since we...
Yeah, me too. I'm not going to go to the event.
This match is...
Hey, yo, this is the most Miami thing I've ever seen.
Shouts out to the Saints brothers. If you haven't watched, go check out the video we made about them.
Video's hilarious.
Definitely. Watching that video made me excited to go down to Miami and just kind of check out a different vibe they got going down there. We've done so many of these Who's Number Ones in Texas and Austin and Dallas and stuff. Obviously California as well. So this is our first Who's Number One in Miami. I'm feeling like the crowd's going to be hyped. Hopefully prove me right there.
I just thought about something, dude.
What?
At these ADCC Opens, there's ongoing feuds with Miami-based gyms.
Yeah.
Vagner Rocha Martial Arts, obviously a big gym. They bring a lot of kids and all these Opens, and a lot of times they end up feuding with Alpha Miami. I don't know why I didn't put it together in my mind, but we have both of those gyms represented with the Signs brothers and then with the Rochas.
Yeah.
This crowd is going to be nuts.
Yeah, you got Fight Sports in there as well. Roosevelt representing Fight Sports. So we got a bunch of, I know Lucas Lira from the area as well. So I think it's going to be a lot of local, chaotic Miami fans and everything like that. So I'm really looking forward to that aspect of things, to be honest. You want to say something, Slug?
I was just saying we could throw up the main card here. Since
Yeah.
we're chatting about,
Yeah, this is the full card here.
Got the full card up here on the screen.
Obviously a lot of great matches on here, and a lot of stuff I'm looking forward to, but I feel like the one that really pops for me that I'm really, really looking forward to is Ryan Aitken versus Roberto Jimenez.
This is a big-time match.
Yeah, a lot on the line here. Like, we've talked a lot about both these guys. Both these guys kind of, peaking right now, potentially, just at the top of their game. Roberto Jimenez is just must watch anytime he's out there. And, Roberto's had some trouble with guys who kind of have a game similar to Ryan Aitken. So I think this is a big test for Roberto. And then Ryan Aitken as well, I think, is, having a match against Roberto Jimenez, a big name like Roberto Jimenez. This is a big opportunity for Ryan Aitken to really break out, into the kind of upper elite of jiu-jitsu. So this is a big opportunity for him. A lot on the line, potentially, title shot implications here. Two of just the best grapplers in the world, some of the funnest jiu-jitsu. So that one really is I've starred that one for sure.
Yeah, I think we talked about Ryan versus Roberto before, maybe when we initially announced it. And I do feel like it's two dudes who can play into each other's weaknesses well, to be honest. I feel like both are very complete grapplers, but obviously Roberto has lost to leg lock specialists before, and I feel like Ryan does sometimes, like a guy who scrambles a ton, like could find his back, especially off leg entanglements, some Philippe Pena influence there or whatever. But like, so I don't know where this one could go. I could see at some point, for sure, Ryan will get super deep into a leg entanglement, and it's like, will Roberto weather that, get out, and then probably Roberto will find Ryan's back at some point. So will Ryan, escape that? Obviously, being like an EBI guy and stuff, like he's gonna have great back escapes and everything, but still, it's like, dude, Roberto is one of the best back attackers in the world. So it's like, it is a pretty nuts one. I'm excited to see how this one plays out. We got some Roberto training footage here.
Tons of WNO content on the site. If you guys want to watch these guys train or, some interviews, we've got some, great day in the life videos with Kit Dale and Vagner, Rocha and Jasmine and stuff. But a lot of just great training rounds here from some of these guys too. So
yeah,
check this out.
What do you think of this one, Joe? Roberto versus Ryan.
It's an awesome matchup. You guys have talked, stylistically how interesting it is. I think another part of this that's really interesting to me is these two guys. I think we could look back in maybe like a year or two and just say, like, at this time, these really were the two best light heavyweights in the world, right? Especially with Ryan having beaten Pedro Mourinho very recently, who's obviously the WNO champion, and Roberto just beat Giancarlo, who we all know is generationally talented. So for both these guys to be meeting, I think it's incredible. I think it's interesting how different their paths to this moment have been. Ryan's kind of that like 10-year overnight success type of guy, whereas Roberto, we've known about him since he was a purple belt, right? We've known about him since he was a teenager.
Since he was triangling me at blue belt.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, can we pull that match up?
So just like, it's just so interesting. Like, both these guys have really had to come up through the game with very different kinds of difficulties and pressures. They've both reached this moment. I'm really excited to see what the motivation level here is. I think Ryan's coming in very motivated. I really like his style for this. Like you said, EBI guy, so I think his back attacks have shown to be pretty strong. Man, there's going to be a scrap.
Yeah, I was thinking about that quote recently, right? You kind of said it, like it takes 10 years to become an overnight success. Like I was thinking about it with Adam.
Not my quote. Yeah.
No, I can't remember who that's a quote from. It's from someone famous. But like I was thinking about it with Adam. I was like, man, Adam is the embodiment of that. Like it takes 10 years to finally become an overnight success where just all of a sudden it's like, oh, wow.
Everybody's paying
Adam's
attention.
the biggest star. Yeah, it's like Ryan Aiken too. It's like, I know he said it in a few videos we've done with him and stuff that like he's been doing this for 15 years. It took him 15 years to kind of make it on these biggest stages and to kind of blow up in that way. And it's like, it is true, dude. These dudes grind quietly for so long, and then it's like, oh wow, Ryan Aiken like just exploded. It's like, well, takes 10 years to become an overnight success. So it is cool to see him on this stage and everything. I feel like Roberto's been in the spotlight for a long time, to be honest, like ever since purple belt and everything, going out there killing everybody. But yeah, I'm excited for this one. Do you think the winner of this gets a 205 shot against Pedro?
How do you not, right? Like, I know Mika's been kind of campaigning for that, and the 205 division is very deep right now. But I think you could have given a title shot to either of these guys already. So now that one of them is going to defeat the other, I think they are going to kind of be undeniable. We're not the bookers.
Yeah.
But my vote would definitely go to whoever wins this match walks to a title shot.
Yeah, I definitely think it makes sense, especially within like the who's number one universe. Like both these guys kind of chipped away at this 205 division, and now it makes sense for one of them to get a shot at the 205 belt against Pedro. Pedro been holding it down, dude. One of the longest reigning, if not the longest reigning, who's number one champions we have. I feel like he doesn't get enough credit for that, to be honest. Like how long he's held that belt and how no one can really like take it from him.
He's got a busy weekend as well at BJJ Stars.
Yeah, true. Yeah, he's in that absolute Grand Prix.
The Pojada boy always says yes. That's what I like about Pedro.
100%. Yeah, so Ryan versus Roberto is going to be a sick one. I think another really dope one if we want to talk.
Real quick, as I know we're pulling up some training footage here of Ryan Aiken too, and we got a lot of training footage of a lot of these people. Jasmine and Vagner and Kit,
Roberto
Ryan,
and
Roberto,
Natan.
Ryan, Natan and everything. But I don't know, like what. Do you guys like watching these training rounds? What are you guys looking for when you watch some of these training rounds?
I mean, I always just think it's interesting because you do get just a glimpse into different jiu-jitsu gyms across the world. So that's like one thing that I always think is cool. Everyone like I think in jiu-jitsu, especially if you don't like travel a ton, visit all the pro gyms, if you're not a pro grappler, you know, or not in a position where you get to travel a lot of times you're locked in on like your gym. And it's like, you know exactly how your gym trains and what your class is going to be like tonight at 6 p.m. or whatever it is. But then you can watch all these other videos and see like, okay, how do people across the world train? So I think just generally, that's one reason I like watching training rounds. And then the other is because, I mean, if you're like focused and like kind of intentionally watching Ryan, like, all right, Ryan's one of the best grapplers in the world, let me see what he's doing. You're getting to see like live representation of his jiu-jitsu and kind of the stuff he's looking for if you're kind of trying to focus on some of those details and everything. So I feel like there's always something to learn that's outside of just the instructional, like this guy telling you do this, do that. You can just see kind of like the live problem solving of Ryan as he's going and all this. And then also you do get little clues on like what they're going to kind of try and do in the match. Like, you know, it's like whether Ryan's trying to hide it for the camera or not, like some of that's going to sneak out, you know, and you're going to see like, oh, he has a tendency to, I remember one time I filmed a bunch of rounds of Fion, and she just hit like Terrical Platas just over and over and over. And then she did the match that we were like promoting, and she just immediately was going for Terrical Platas. So it was like, okay, whether she meant to show that or not, like she was in a Terrical Plata lane in that training session, and it kind of carried over into the match. So you get little clues. It's fun to kind of like see a little bit of like foreshadowing of what you might see. What about you, Joe?
I also think you get to see a little bit more fun. You know what I mean? The stakes are very low, so I wouldn't call gym rounds exciting necessarily. But when these guys compete, they have to be strategic to a certain level. They have to be cagey to a certain level. They have to be careful to a certain level. Most guys are, at least. We can name some guys that aren't careful, but it is what it is. And so I think when you see them in the training room just working on some stuff, you see way more guard passes. You see way more attacks from dominant positions. You get to see just a little bit more great stuff. A lot of the most fun jiu-jitsu happens in the gym, and this is a great way to see it with guys who are amazing. I know I'm talking about how fun it is while somebody's getting their absolute head squeezed off. I think I saw in the Instagram comments people were tagging him like Habibi Jiu-Jitsu or whatever. Shout out to this guy donating your body to science. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I like to especially you get to see so many different positions, like you said, right? It's like, okay, here he is in headquarters, here he is on the back, you know, and it's like, I obviously we all find ourselves on the back in jiu-jitsu, so it's like, okay, I can kind of like translate my game now to like what he's doing. Okay, I like to do this from the back, but what is Ryan doing? How does he finish from the back? Okay, he's getting this grip and then this grip, and then try to kind of like, you know, influence that into my game a little bit. So I feel like you just kind of get little tiny nuggets of being like, okay, where does he sit from headquarters? Okay, he gets the grip on the ankle here. I usually like the grip on the hip. Those types of things.
Is there anything recently where you were watching it and you took it back to the gym? Like, so you were watching an athlete do a thing like Trey. I know you were doing some stuff with like Kynan's headquarters passing not that long ago. I know myself, I was looking at some of the waiter stuff that I saw Tynan doing throughout this IBJJF season, watching him not add it necessarily, but I felt like it became way more of an emphasis for some of those AOJ guys, Tynan especially. Is there anything like that for you, Reed?
I've been watching a lot of Adam Wardzinski recently, for sure, and we've been getting to train with Adam quite a bit over the last 3 months here too, and so been getting smashed by Adam, and so I feel like I've been going back and trying to watch a lot of Adam Wardzinski's matches and training and stuff like that, just to see how he sets up his butterfly, or like if guys step deep out of his butterfly, how does he handle that? Like I've been trying to play a lot more butterfly guard in the game in the gym, and if I get into like a part where I don't really know what to do from there or something like that, or someone like kind of kills the butterfly guard that I'm not hip to, then I'll just go back and kind of try to watch some Adam Wardzinski stuff to see if I can see if, okay, so when people are doing that to him, this is what he does, and then I'll take that to the next time to the gym and stuff like that. So I've been loving playing butterfly guard. It fits so well.
It rules. I won't say necessarily what the trick is, but Trey, you mentioned that Adam had told you about, like, this is the first thing I do when a round starts, and I've been taking that a lot, and like that is very helpful.
Oh, for sure. No, that's like the thing. Even if, like, say you know how to play butterfly guard, Adam knows how to play butterfly guard better. So if you can find like one little thing via his training rounds and stuff, you know, then like just start playing with it. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's maybe what I guess I pull from training rounds is like one thing. Like I'll just be like, okay, I noticed he did that three times in the round.
Yeah.
Let me just go as soon as I start this round. If I get into this position, just no matter what, do that and then see what happens. Like, I know this is like, and obviously it's a lot of times it's very basic stuff. Like, I remember one time watching a lot of Owen Jones, and Owen did a Fix My Game with Corey at one point, and he was just basically like doing 2-on-1s. Anytime he was playing guard, he just had a 2-on-1 on Corey's arm, and just Corey couldn't do anything to him because it's like he just had complete control of one of his arms. So I was like, all right, no matter what, if I play guard, I'm just going to go 2-on-1 and then just see what happens, like use creativity from there. And it did just completely change how I was playing guard, just like that little detail like that. And like with Adam, like certain grips he uses and stuff where it's like, all right, that completely changed my guard retention. Like now it's just completely different. So I guess that would be what I like from rounds and stuff, you know?
Yeah. Just getting those just one little detail. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, and you made a good point because it's like, it's
Thank
like
you,
you see these dudes like in the world's finals or something, and it's like their game becomes a very
the whole match is one thing that happens.
Yeah, it's like a very like no, they specifically only want one thing and they're not giving any room outside of that. In the training ground, you see them problem solve a little more with like random stuff and playing around. So you can see the Signs brothers just doing cartwheels. Rewind that real quick. I might have to hit this on Slack later. Slack would destroy me if I tried this. This is not the move you would want to hit on Slack.
Yeah, 100%. In friggin' pile driver.
Yeah.
Take it back just a little bit. Now that
these kids are nuts.
The cartwheel into the freaking. What are these guys doing, man?
So they were.
Yeah.
This is a great video. Go check this out. They're just going 2 for 2 takedowns, and Tristan hits his crazy cartwheel here. Whoop.
Yeah.
Double leg.
That's in the Andrew Tackett realm of things. What's he saying to the camera right there?
They can't stop that.
That's like if you watch like that's very Russian style, right? I say it all the time with like Russian freestyle guys. Like you shoot on them, boom, there's the cartwheel.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
crazy
honestly,
boys.
if you're listening or watching, go check out this video that's nonstop takedowns from the Saints brothers. They're at. This is another cool thing about training rounds is, if people are going full blast, which there are some great videos out there that we've captured of people just smashing each other, and that's entertaining maybe to watch. This is a great video because they're going at a speed where you can absolutely deconstruct a lot. Maybe not that one.
Yeah, he just tried to throw Michael on his head. Right?
No, but in general, they're moving at a speed where you can really deconstruct this stuff with the training partner and just say, let me just watch this a couple of times. Now they, at this point, we're kind of halfway through the video. They start just kind of having fun and flowing, but especially at the beginning, they're really just kind of 2 for 2, taking their shots, moving slow and kind of a flowy pace.
This is Ruotolo Brothers-esque, the Ruotolo 100%. Brothers, except whenever they start training, it turns into an all-out war every time.
MMA
I've never seen the Ruotolo Brothers, even if they start trying to flow, end around flowing. It just ends with them like doing the most dangerous, like trying to kill each other.
Yeah.
Moves
but definitely, as we're talking about all the guys on the card, these two guys are somebody that I'm really, really looking forward to, especially being in Miami, in their backyard. They're going to have their team cheering for them, all their students and everything like that are going to be there. And these two guys both have great matches.
Tristan has Roberto's brother, right? Matias Jimenez.
Yeah.
El Bamba Jiu-Jitsu or whatever.
Yeah.
Roberto goes by El Natural. His brother goes by the steroids. Pretty funny.
So Tristan and Matias will be kicking off the event, right?
Yes.
That they have faced each other, and I know that they're both really excited to just absolutely I think at it at this match. Like this is going to be a really great start to the event, I think.
I 100% agree. I think that those are two really exciting young guys who are both really excited to kind of take that step up from like younger brother to like, no, I'm just kind of like my own thing now. And there's a great opportunity for them to do that. They both have really exciting jiu-jitsu. Matthias coming down to kind of roll up into Tristan's spot and take his take that shine. Tristan's going to be, I believe, super well prepared for this. I'm really excited to see how Michael looks against Natan. My hope is that we get a really good scrap where we see Michael kind of open it up. I know he has the ability to kind of stay very focused and play a very like narrow game, a lot of snap downs, a lot of go behinds, that kind of thing. If this kid opens up and this kid kind of just like lets it fly without fear in a sub-only way, I think that we're going to really see the best out of him. I'm really, really excited to see what his upward trajectory in the next 2-ish years is going to be.
Yeah, you have kind of like big thoughts around the prospect of Michael Steins, right?
Michael right now is my early pick to win East Coast Trials. I think that he has a great style for it. I think that he has that right experience where you start to see people like put in a few trials and make it deeper and deeper, and you're seeing it more and more. He's at that right age where a lot of these guys happen to be a lot younger. For all I know, Cade Rotolo is going to enter the next trials, so it's a little hard to tell. But like I just think that like when you see these trajectories of where those trial winners are, he's kind of like right in that sweet spot for like an East Coast, West Coast.
Is he 77?
77.
77. He's a big 77 guy.
He
not small. He's thick. He's thick, right?
Yeah,
he's a little shorter,
stockier.
but he's you know, thick muscled.
And I was going to say that I know Slack just got back from Miami visiting the Sains brothers. So Slack, what's your kind of read overall hanging out with the Sains brothers for a day?
Man, I mean, definitely go check out the video that I made following them through a day of training, and yeah, it's just a video if you want to pull this up, Nikki.
Explain it.
They kind of took over the ADCC Miami Open, which was really fun. These guys are just honestly, they're really fun to hang out with, really funny, really entertaining guys, and they just train super hard. Like they are so hungry to get out there and make a splash, and they know that this is kind of a huge moment for them, and for their team, for their family. Like they've got a whole crew of brothers that are all absolutely crazy jiu-jitsu guys at all. I mean, even their like baby brother, he's like, I want on the next card. Give me anybody you got. I'll fight them. Like this is the energy that they bring. Kyle.
What an incredible gym they have.
They've got a beautiful gym down there, Alpha Miami Grappling. Super nice gym, huge mat space, super nice, lifting gym and all that stuff. So go check out the video. You can kind of see a tour of their spot. The other thing just about like, I don't know, fluency in competing, like right here, you see like how many ADCC Open golds they have. Like they literally have like baskets of gold medals that they like give out to the kids for in-house tournaments, because that's just how much these guys compete. So they really are like living the lifestyle. These two are both state wrestling champions. So
they actually set a record this year in Florida. The first time 3 siblings were in the state finals in the same year.
That's crazy.
That's incredible.
They just like, they live and breathe competition. I think that we're going to see them really break out this year more and more. And then, yeah, I think the big question, for Michael will be like, can you submit Natan? Like that would be crazy. That's a pretty huge feat. He feels confident that he can submit him. Obviously, Natan is an incredibly seasoned competitor, so it's a tall order. But, I mean, if he could do that, that would be huge. But there's no doubt that it'll be a great fight regardless. Both these guys just bring, like, crazy energy to, I think, all their competitions. But I will say, too, from watching them roll and train together, they do really have a lot of jiu-jitsu knowledge. I think it's just a matter of like where they display that, what kind of opponents they can open that up on. So we'll see if they're able to pull off the submissions that I know they want come Friday.
Let's talk a little about who Natan is for a second, because people very well might not know who Natan Chuang is. Kind of broke out a little bit last year, black belt, no-gi pan champion, winning that middleweight division, which is always so tough. That was a really tough bracket that he was able to navigate. He is a super scrapper who's medaled everywhere. Pans, Brasileiros, Euros, fought all the best guys, given everybody a scrap, always been in some absolute firefights, some dog fights out there. And so we've been looking for a way to get him on one of these cards for a minute. So to get Natan on here in what we think is going to be a really, really solid scrap with a young guy, I don't want to overlook him and make it sound like we're coronating Michael. We have a lot of belief that Michael can be very good, so we gave him a super tough test on this one.
It's a super tough match.
This is a crazy tough test. It's hard for anybody. Natan, for example, fought Cade at that IBJJF card and gave him a super tough scrap.
Yeah, he fought Cade in the gi in Cade's black belt gi debut.
Yeah, and that was a super brawl.
And Natan beat JT Torres at Worlds a couple years ago. Was that 2023, I think, maybe?
Yep. There you go.
Where JT was kind of coming back to the gi and first round had Natan and kind of spoiled his kind of comeback a little bit. So, yeah, I mean, beating a guy like JT Torres is huge, So Natan's got all the right tools.
Definitely. I think an interesting thing about this to me is we're seeing two dudes who kind of just came up through two different lanes,
Yeah.
Obviously, both have competed since they were little kids. Like Natan, born and raised Cantagallo in the favelas, you know, lived next door to Jansen. Like there was a brick wall that separated them. So he grew up like training on the mats in Cantagallo, just like in the favela and stuff, which I think is a super cool story and stuff. There's some old footage of them on BJJ Korea. Obviously Natan's wife, Karini, runs BJJ Korea. So Natan does a lot of the vlog stuff with all that. It's really cool stuff. You guys should go check that out. Their YouTube, their Instagram, everything. So it's like he's done jiu-jitsu his whole life. Michael Sains has done jiu-jitsu his whole life. But then Michael Sains found himself, the Sains brothers as a whole, found themselves kind of always doing the ADCC Open stuff as soon as that became a possibility.
Going the more wrestler route.
Yeah, doing wrestling, high school wrestling, all that. Natan just always been an IBJJF guy. So we are getting to see like a blend of two styles, the IBJJF style versus the ADCC style coming together on the Who's Number One mats to put it on the line. But yeah, I like Michael Sains, he's already been on Who's Number One. He beat Daniel Sattler, so that gives him some hype. You know, I think people are kind of becoming more and more familiar with Michael Sains. I think Natan, you know, winning Nogi Pans was a big breakout moment for him, some of his big wins on IBJJF, but Natan is an insanely tough grappler. Like, I think this is one of those where people are going to be surprised at maybe how tough Natan is if they're not hip to the IBJJF scene as much or anything, that this is going to be a very hard match for both of these guys. So I really don't know how it's going to end up, to be honest. So
Natan looking for some straight ankle locks in this training round here.
Yeah, definitely.
But obviously this Unity room, one of the best rooms in the world with Marilla Santana. You got Roberto training there as well. So they got great.
Natan has more leg locks than I thought he did.
Yeah, he's looking for a lot of leg locks.
This is another thing with training rounds. You just see elements of these guys' games that, like, yeah, maybe Natan isn't going to leg lock Michael Sains because he's working on it now, but in like 18 months or whatever, he's going to like leg lock somebody in a super sick way. Sorry, I interrupted.
Yeah, no, totally agree. I agree. This is the first match on the main card.
Yes.
So we're kicking things off with a fireworks match for sure.
I'd also point out, just like as a shout out to that whole Unity crew, that Natan is out here training with Roberto Jimenez all the time. So like really scrappy training partners, he's not in any need of those. You know, I think he's going to be very well prepared to take on an explosive, creative, wrestling heavy opponent.
Marilla Santana, one of the best passers in the world, you know, so, you know, he'll be well versed on passing and stuff as well. So yeah, they got a great room. If you've never been down there and trained in the Unity room, just what a tough, hard-nosed room to train in. And so that definitely builds a lot of character and you know, builds a lot of for these big who's number one matches. Natan will be prepared for sure.
I saw they just celebrated a 10-year anniversary. Yeah. Shouts out to Unity.
Oh, heck yeah. Sure. Heck yeah.
If you are willing to put in the work, Unity really is one of those rooms where, like, I don't think you can avoid getting better. You know what I mean? Like, if you show up and do the program, you're going to get real good probably.
I wonder if Helen Maroulis was there at all helping Natan get ready for a wrestler.
Level him up. Now she's getting ready to win another world championship. Shout out to Helen Maroulis. You know, made another world team in freestyle wrestling. It's like her 75th or whatever. I think they stopped keeping count. She's made all of them. She's getting ready to go do it. The Legend of Legends. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's another sick one. If we just kind of go up the card to the second match on the main card, we're going to see Roosevelt Souza taking on Igor Tanabe, a.k.a. Fat Ninja. Fat Ninja back in the mix, dude. Fat Ninja kind of, you know, he skirted on the jiu-jitsu lane for a minute. He was doing the MMA thing, and now he's back. I mean, if people aren't hip to Fat Ninja, Reed, you got to fill them in on what Fat Ninja's all about.
Yeah, man. Fat Ninja's been on the scene for a long, long time as well. He more recently started going the MMA route. Who did we just look up that he had his first MMA fight against?
I didn't look it up.
It was that striker guy, right?
It was some badass
Rugrug.
Pride. No, it was like a badass old school
guy.
Pride striker.
Igor Vovchanchin?
No.
I'll try and find it.
Who was his first ever MMA fight against? And I was like, holy smokes, I can't believe Fat Ninja had an MMA fight against this guy.
He was a killer at color belt, though. I remember he had
Melvin Manhoof?
Yeah, Melvin Manhoof. Yeah.
Melvin's a killer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he had his first MMA fight, you know.
Talk about starting in the deep end, brother.
Yeah.
I watch half these jiu-jitsu guys. They'll spend 3 years beating up local tomato cans, and you were like, nah, Melvin Manhoof first off is cool.
Exactly.
You know what? Fedor second, Gegard third. Cool. Exactly.
So I thought that was crazy. That must have been incredible to fight a legend like Melvin Manhoof in his first MMA fight. But yeah, obviously, Igor Tanabe has been incredible on the jiu-jitsu scene. He was really battling Roberto Jimenez.
Roberto was big.
Yeah,
rival,
when they were juvenile blue belts, like especially because they're both kind of heavier juvenile blue belts, and so there weren't a whole lot of like 185 juvenile blue belts. So these two guys, like every Pans, Worlds, and all those, they would always fight each other. And I feel like Roberto kind of usually got the edge. But
that ninja did get a couple.
Yeah,
back,
he did get a couple back. I feel like once he
100%.
started coming to America and training at 99 with Eduardo Telles and stuff, he really started kind of like, upping his game and everything like that, and becoming one of the best juveniles. And then I think he did beat Roberto a couple times there.
I think he beat him at brown belt. Might be him at brown belt worlds.
Okay, yeah. So obviously, man, Igor is just. We saw him at the Asian Championships as well. He made, I believe he won his weight class and then made the finals against Andy Murasaki, and so he got gold and silver. But just awesome to see Igor Tanabe honestly back on the scene. Obviously his MMA run happened, and I don't think he's doing MMA anymore, so he's kind of back in the jiu-jitsu sphere. Yeah. And that's just another great thing about this WNO card. We're in Miami for the first time, but we're bringing a lot of guys who we haven't had on the cards or on these Who's Number One in the Who's Number One universe, like Roosevelt, like Igor, like the Sains brothers and stuff like that. So I think there's a lot of new talent on this card. And yeah, Igor Tanabe is definitely one of these guys that I'm going to be super pumped when he's taking the mats there against Roosevelt, who just won IBJJF Worlds. So he's on a big tear right now. So that's a huge match.
Man, I was going to say Tanabe just saying yes to another top guy here. We're talking about Melvin Manhoef, but you look at Roosevelt. Roosevelt has such a crazy career for a guy who started at 21, right? Wins no gi worlds, wins gi worlds. He might be the oldest guy to start jiu-jitsu and win gi worlds, realistically. To start at 21 and be able to win black belt gi worlds is insane.
Yeah,
to win blue belt gi worlds if you start at 21 is insane.
True.
And an ADCC medal on top of that. You know what I mean? So this guy, the hardware alone speaks to how much he's been able to adapt and rise to a certain level in this game. I think to get him back on WNO, especially after he has that momentum of winning worlds, is great. I think whoever wins this match is probably in line for an even bigger, something bigger in the future. We're looking at a new heavyweight champion sometime probably later this year. We need contenders for that. We need people in the churn. This is one of those matchups we're going to get somebody who's going to take a shot at the top.
Not to take it back to Melvin Manhoef, but Melvin Manhoef's last 3 fights, he's on like a 3-fight skid. I assume retired in 2022 after Igor Tanabe, but he had to fight Corey Anderson in Bellator, then Yoel Romero, and then Fat Ninja. Like, what a run.
Bad
there.
motherfucker.
Yeah. That's kind of crazy to go Corey Anderson, Yoel Romero, and then Fat Ninja. But Fat Ninja beat him by inverted heel hook.
That's right.
Shit.
Yeah, heel hooked him. Yeah.
In the first round.
Melvin, man, I remember watching the fight. Melvin looked a little confused on kind of what happened there.
What's going on?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's going to be a sick one. Roosevelt is a shockingly big guy also.
Huge.
Like,
he's going to be a lot bigger than Fat Ninja.
100%.
He's not that fat.
Yeah, no.
He's kind of jacked now.
Yeah, he's looking pretty jacked. He's looking in pretty good shape these days.
Might have to
like
change his
Felipe
nickname
Pena
to Jack
Perguisa.
Ninja. Yeah.
But I always remember one time when I sat down with Eduardo Telles, and I was like, how come you call him Fat Ninja? And he looked at me and he said, Fat Ninja? Because he's a ninja and he's fat. So why wouldn't we call him Fat Ninja?
Didn't even get why.
Didn't understand why I was asking the question.
Like,
it's
Reed,
pretty
man.
self-explanatory.
Reed, I respect you. I respect you, Reed. But that was a dumb question. He's a ninja and he's fat. What more could there be?
What else would you call him? Like,
why do they call Bushesha? Because he has cheeks.
chubby cheeks.
Yeah. But yeah, so that would be a sick one too. Another one is going to be Lucas Lira versus Sean Yadamarco. So obviously Lucas Lira's been on Who's Number One a couple times now. His most recent one, he took a loss to Ryan Aiken, but it was a pretty close match. And then before that, who did he fight?
He beat a guy at WNO 23, Hassan Ali, something like that. I'm sorry if I get the name wrong.
Yeah. So
Hassan Alabi may have been the name.
Yeah, that's it. So he's 1-1 on Who's Number One. Now he has Sean Yadamarco. Sean Yadamarco, a Tom DeBlas student, representing the New Jersey area. Sean's making his debut here on Who's Number One. So I think this should be a pretty sick one too. What do you think of this one, Joe?
I actually think Sean has already made his Who's Number One
he did
debut.
a long time ago,
Yeah.
right?
I think he fought Andrew Tackett, If I
Might have been.
Like
I thought it was a little higher.
Andrew or William tagging maybe.
Yeah, you're right. My mistake.
He's been around. Sean's definitely super tough. He actually won a finishers qualifier bracket to get onto here. I'm always excited to see how those guys are able to come in here and perform. You know, he's had to go through something difficult to be here. It's, you know, something I know he really wanted. Great grappler, great Darces, Tom DeBlas guy, so he's going to be pretty solid everywhere. Runs his own school up there in Bergen, New Jersey. And I think that him and Lucas are two submission hunters. Lucas in 2024 had one of the Submission of the Year nominees. Always tries to bring something exciting, going to be in front of his home crowd. Last time he was fighting in Miami, he had an awesome match with Achilles Rocha. That was super back and forth, a lot of action in that one. So I'm really excited to see these guys get out here and scrap it up. Lucas down in a new weight class as well of middleweight. Man, Lucas jacked guy, but like, oh, you know, he's like Ryan Aiken, just like able to make the cut.
Yeah, definitely. So that one should be exciting. And then you guys want to move up to the replacement match here. Max Hansen versus Gianni Grippo. Man, what a route we took to figure out this match. So originally it was Owen Jones who was looking for a match. And then Gianni kind of answered the call. The fans were calling for it. They wanted Owen versus Gianni. And so that got signed. And then some stuff happened with Owen, and Owen had to pull out of this one. So now Gianni was looking for a match, and boom, Max Hansen stepped up, said he wanted it. And so I'm excited for this one, Max versus Gianni. Have these guys crossed paths before? It seems like they at some point these dudes would have fought probably like 10 to 15 times.
I tried to look. I tried to look and find one. I couldn't find anything. As far as I could tell, it was their first time.
I thought that they fought at one of the ADCC trials. Like,
not that I could find, because you got to remember Max is usually up at 77, Gianni usually down at 66.
Yeah.
Max is a guy who kind of goes all over though.
100%. But
You might be right. I thought I had a memory of them fighting at East Coast trials one year, but
it might have been a few years, like a good while back. But like I looked on
or
BJJ
2021.
Heroes.
Yeah.
I never found it.
Okay. No, obviously, man, I'm super high on Max Hansen. We brought him on the Who's Next show. And, he's had a couple tough matches here on the Who's Number One stage. We haven't really seen the best version of Max Hansen on the Who's Number One stage. And I think, this is a perfect match for him against a guy like Gianni Grippo. Of course, Gianni is super well accomplished. Max a little bit more on the come up still, but definitely has arrived as kind of an elite grappler. Especially if these guys have never faced off against each other, this is just a perfect matchup. And, hopefully whoever wins this match, we can still see against Owen Jones in the future here. I know Owen's probably still looking for that match against Johnny. Hopefully we see that one happen because they have been circling each other for years. It seems like it's a
cursed match.
Like since we found out about Owen Jones, we've been like kind of like, where's the Gianni match?
Yeah, so it's a little bit of a cursed match, but hopefully we can make that one happen. But I think this is as great of a replacement as you can expect in Max Hansen. So.
100%. These are two guys who fight everywhere, face off with everybody, submit a ton of people. They're super cut up of Gianni and his submission wins from the last few years on the site. I'm excited for this one still. These are two world-class lightweights. I'm excited to see how Max, being a part of CJI 2, is going to be dropping down to 66. He hasn't made 66 in a very long time. The lowest he usually goes is 155. He's having to drop an additional, I think it's 12 pounds under that, which is a very serious pull for him. And so I know he's already begun that and started his descent down. I'm excited to see how does that affect him. Does he have a good beat on being this lower size already, or is this going to be a kind of an issue? And if it's an issue, does he have time to correct that before CJI 2? I think this is actually a really valuable matchup for him to get a really good baseline of him down a little bit closer to where this weight class is going to be, facing a really tough guy. What do we get?
And Johnny making his Who's Number One debut.
Finally.
Long overdue, but a good match for his debut too. So
what Max is? What's his record on Who's Number One? Is he
0-2?
I think he's 0-2. Yeah.
So, I know that's kind of like it doesn't mean that much. Like you can take losses in jiu-jitsu and it's not as big of a deal. But like a guy wants to get the win on Who's Number One. He obviously kind of had that crazy match against Daniel Sattler. I guess not crazy match. Daniel just had a crazy submission, like a flying armbar, I believe. So Max was kind of devastated after that. He's a guy who wears his heart on his sleeve. Sometimes you could tell how like sad he was after that and stuff. And so I do think this is like an important match for Max. If I had to guess, I don't live inside his head, but like you would think it would be. And then obviously a guy making his #1 debut is of course going to want to win in their debut. That
Yeah, winning means more opportunities, right?
Yeah.
So it's definitely there's a lot on the line.
So yeah, definitely an important one. In this one, I'm super excited. I was stoked on Owen versus Gianni. I am a big Owen Jones fan, big Gianni fan, so I thought that was going to be sick, especially when a match has been so long in the works. But since it didn't happen, it was great to get Max to step up, a dude who's always game. I was trying to look real quick at the records to see if they have fought. Both these dudes fight so much.
It's insane.
That it's like, yeah, I don't know. I'd be scrolling for hours trying to find it, but I am excited for this one. And then the next one.
If you look at like the range of people that Gianni Grippo has fought, it's like, from Max Hansen to like Rafa Mendez. You know what I mean? Like he fought Rafa Mendez back in the day, Cobrinha and stuff before these guys retired. When he was a young buck, and to see the progression now where he's the old guard, he's the veteran, has been wild.
You got to ask what Max's view is on ecological training. I wonder where Max is landing on that.
Smart guy. Bet he has an opinion.
I bet he's kind of into it.
I bet he uses it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll speak for Max here.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't need to ask.
I'm not asking guys stuff anymore. I just kind of form their opinion. I'm kidding. But then the next one, this is obviously a super...
Make a quote graphic of that.
Yeah.
He's
Max's
probably
opinion.
into it, yeah.
The next one that I think is going to be an incredible match, a rematch, is Adele Fornerino versus Jasmine Rocha. Obviously, we saw Adele versus Jasmine at the 2024 ADCC World Championship. And now they're kind of running it back on who's #1 up a weight class. This one's going to be at 135. So I don't know if that plays a factor or not. I think Jasmine is the naturally bigger of the two, but Adele's the absolute champion at ADCC. So I'm kind of like, does it matter? I'm not sure. But I do think this one is going to be sick. I think the crowd is going to go absolutely nuts for Jasmine. And I bet there's going to be some daddy fans there. Have you guys seen the mommy thing?
You got a daddy versus mommy fight going.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Mommy
Not
and daddy
again.
are fighting.
Not again.
Mommy and daddy are fighting.
If someone wins by submission, it's just going to feel like daddy slapped mommy at the dinner table, and I don't know what to say.
It's obviously we're super high on Adele, the FloGrappling's female grappler of the year in 2024, after one of the greatest one-day performances in jiu-jitsu history. That last day at ADCC, everything she was able to do in that day was just so incredible. I think that since then she's won the WNO championship down at strawweight. I think it is an enormous deal that this match is going on. Their first match, Adele kind of choi bars her-ish, gets to an armbar early on, like 90 seconds in. Incredible. That was down at 121 pounds. This is up at 135 pounds. That's an enormous difference, especially when you consider that Jasmine, just earlier this year when she was going to do another super fight, had to be hospitalized for a short time because of a weight cut down to just 125, let alone 121. So now I think it's obvious that she needs to even potentially consider moving up when it comes to ADCC and go up to 145. If the cut is that brutal, I think it really does deplete her. And so I think we're going to get the same Adele, who's always dynamite and always looking for the kill and always world class. She's so incredible. I think we're going to see the best version of Jasmine that I don't know we necessarily got when she had to make that cut down to 55.
Yeah, a little bit of beef here too.
A little bit of beef.
They've been going back and forth a little bit on
That's
social
why we had to make
media.
it a bigger weight class because there's more beef.
There you go. And obviously Jasmine is really good. She comes from the Rocha family school of martial arts, where the match starts long before they step onto the mat.
It starts when you put that mommy hat up for sale on Etsy, dude.
Can you buy the mommy hat?
I think so.
Okay.
I think it's
the mommy hat.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been waiting for the daddy hat too. I want to buy both of these hats. I'll bandwagon, dude. If that judge's favor says red, boom, daddy hat. If that judge's favor says blue, boom, mommy hat. I stand for nothing, dude. I will go with the front runner above all else. I'm gonna be switching hats.
Yes,
I'm gonna look like a modern day recruit to a college. Just switching where I'm committed every week.
And now that
You need like an erasable hat for those guys.
now that Adele is kind of at the top of the sport, she's got a big target on her back, and so we're going to kind of really see how she handles that aspect of things, and dealing with the trash talk and dealing with people kind of really gunning for her and watching her game and breaking things down and really coming in with a game plan and a strategy on how to beat Adele. So this is kind of like a new chapter in her kind of dominant jiu-jitsu career as well. And, there's nobody really better at trash talk than the Rochas out there. And Jasmine's doing a great job. So we'll see how that affects everything.
I wonder how a win here would potentially affect that CJI 100K bracket. Like they would potentially find room for Jasmine, find a fifth person or something like that, I do think there is an element to that.
A play-in match?
Something where Jasmine can kind of sit to, if she picks up a win over one of those 4 girls and picks up the win over Adele, I think there is leverage then for her to try to force her way in there. So that's even more motivation for her to come in and try to put on a great performance in front of her hometown crowd. That's going to be, juicing her up.
Especially if there's a pull out or something, a great claim for the replacement. Yeah. You got this day in the life with Vagner and Jasmine rolling here, Slack. Well, like we said, you were out in Miami. Did you have your Hawaiian shirt on or no?
No, I didn't have my Hawaiian shirt on. Actually, yeah, it's funny. I had a
Kid Super doesn't make Hawaiian.
Kid Super doesn't make Hawaiian. I had another brand's T-shirt on at the Rocha gym. They are fiercely tatami athletes. I got a lot of comments about that. So
I would have turned my shirt inside out, brother.
It's so funny. Almost asked me to take my shirt off.
How was it? That was just because they were trying to see the physique, dude. They were like, let's see if this Slack guy's legit.
See what he's got.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why he was asking me if I was a vegetarian or not. No, yeah, it was
judging you on the praise scale.
Yeah, totally. Honestly, it was great to spend a day with them. They have a really cool gym. Go check out the video if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, we can show some of this video.
Go ahead and show it, Nikki. Jasmine
Nikki,
sparring with Talita Alencar here.
Yeah, Talita Alencar. They're training with Jasmine, which is really cool to see. And yeah, it was just cool. They are just a complete pack of fighters in one family. It's crazy. Achilles is there cutting weight for the ADCC Open, which he did win. They're here preparing for, WNO 29. They are just a family that is fully living the jiu-jitsu lifestyle, which is really cool. And I had a lot of interesting conversations, with Vagner, obviously, about sharing a card. They've been on the same cards before, but this is a huge deal that they're in Miami. He's the main event. She's the co-main event. And it really is kind of like a milestone for their family that, Vagner started jiu-jitsu when he was 20 and then, was really good at it. He competed in MMA for a long time. We talked about that. But then he started seeing more and more success in jiu-jitsu, started seeing a future in it. He's from that older guard, but he's just still here and he's paved the way for his kids that are now growing up with the proof that there is a future in jiu-jitsu if you dedicate yourself to it. So they're really a testament to that. And it's really interesting to kind of hear, go check out the video. I don't want to put words in their mouths, but they opened up a little bit about what it's like to kind of grow up with a dad who's a coach, who's pushing you and kind of guiding you into this new world of professional jiu-jitsu that's just growing so fast. So.
You get to see Achilles versus Vagner at all? Were they training together?
No, so Achilles wasn't training this day because he was cutting weight for the tournament the next day.
I wonder if he's getting the old man these days, huh? You think Achilles is giving Wagner a little too much to handle now?
Who knows, man? I mean, I see.
I bet no way.
I bet that's how it works, dude.
I bet there's not been one single point given up by Wagner. Yeah. Nothing conceded, nothing,
I'm sure Vagner knows how to shut that game down.
That's what I'm saying.
You were there when she filmed the mommy thing, or
no?
She just showing you
I had her break down on the way to the lifting session. She breaks down the skit that she did, and the video's pretty funny. She said that she doesn't think Adele thinks it's funny. And she's not.
Neither do we.
I bet not.
Yeah, but she wasn't into it.
Neither do we. That we are not endorsing anything
until that judge's favorite comes out. And then I'll debut my hat.
We'll pick sides then.
Yeah, but what is Fafa featured at all?
Fafa's featured, yeah.
Oh, let's go.
I don't want to spoil the video too much. I encourage everybody to go watch it. But yeah. Fafa. Shouts out to her. Cooked me the best Brazilian stroganoff I've ever had.
Let's go. She's the secret head of the Rocha family. I think Wagner is maybe the face, he gets the public appearances, but I think Fafa is the one making it happen where this family, she's like the underspoken hero of the success of the Rocha clan, if you ask me, so shout out Fafa.
That's always the way when we show up to these families, you know what I mean? Is, it doesn't take too much scratching away to start to realize that.
You got to have one legitimate adult who can be like, no, you do have to show up to things on time.
Someone whose job is not headbutting.
And here you see Achilles is here. He's cutting weight. But this is kind of what I mean. It's like we came back from the gym and it was just to me, it just is so like here you've got, Jasmine's putting on his hot blanket for him to cut weight in the living room while the mom is cooking their post-training meal. Wagner's, sweating it out in the sauna and then hitting the ice plunge. It was honestly pretty inspiring. Like, as someone who wants my kids to love jiu-jitsu one day, maybe not be professional athletes, but like seeing the whole family training together is super cool. And there's a lot of families like that in jiu-jitsu. Of course, you got like the gal vows. We see them all the time. But I don't know. It's just cool to see.
What are they watching here?
He just put on some Netflix or something while he was cutting weight for like an hour.
You didn't put him on game with some deep cut sick movie?
I should have, right? I didn't want to mess up the process.
Yeah.
What do I know about what you watch when you cut weight?
By the way, speaking of Netflix, I don't have Netflix right now.
Looks good. Looks tasty.
It's so good, man.
Does look good. I'm at the dentist this week, and they put up like as I'm laying back in the chair, they put on a thing of Netflix for me to watch. And they put on like a nature documentary thing about like the destruction of the ice caps. It's like, hey, or like the cute fuzzy animal one is like probably also on there, like a click away, like get me out of this. Yeah,
you're getting bummed out on our future.
I'm already at
future
the
of
dentist.
the human race.
I'm already at the dentist, not having fun. You know what I mean?
I love the dentist. I'm contractually obligated to say that. Dude, I went to the dentist, and for anyone who doesn't know, my girlfriend's a dentist, and so I have to go to her now, and so, whatever. Adele's girlfriend's also a dentist, so we have that in common. But I went, and they laid me back, and it was already playing. They had, like, Viking Season 3, Episode 8 or something, and I was like, oh, sick. I guess that's spoiled. Thanks a lot, dentist. I just come here, and you guys ruined. My whole life I've been looking forward to the Viking series, and now it's ruined. Now I know Vagner fights this guy at 3 seasons in, but
Ragnar.
This is what he's saying on the car ride home with his girl.
Yeah, I was just like driving, and I was like, I cannot believe you ruined that for me.
Ragnar Lothbrok, I believe is his name.
Oh, really?
It's a pretty tight show, right?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I wasn't paying attention.
I was into Vikings back in the day. It was a good show.
Really?
Yeah, definitely.
I just kept telling the
Skarsgård there is in it too, and
one of them.
Yeah, one of them. I forget what his name.
I said
is.
Vagner, a real Viking.
Yeah. Shout out Vagner, the real Viking.
No, the whole time I was just like, my girlfriend, the dentist, and her dental assistant, I just kept telling the dental assistant, like, you don't actually have to listen to her. Like, I don't know if you know her outside of this, but she's just a normal person. Do whatever you want. She got mad at me for that. She said I shouldn't say that to the dental assistant, but I can also do whatever I want. So,
I'm paying you.
Yeah.
So.
It's like, I'm paying for, well, I didn't actually pay, but.
All right.
Yeah. So,
well.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of dentist talk. That's our new segment, dentist talk on this podcast. That's why you guys tune in to hear us talk about the dentist. Imagine we just go deep cut segments about the dentist. But we'll get to. So our producer Nikki has a big show debuting, and we're going to talk to you guys about that. But let's talk about the last match first. We are talking about obviously Jasmine, Adele, and then we talked some Vagner. But Wagner's going to be main eventing this one against Kit Dale. This is kind of a wild match, huh? Kit Dale made his debut, beat Shanji Hibero. Just an insane match, like an insane debut on Who's Number One for Kit. Crazy to get the win there. And now he's taking on Vagner Rocha, another legend of the sport. I've said it before. The history of jiu-jitsu is etched into the face of Vagner Rocha, So when you fight him, you have to stare into the face of all of jiu-jitsu and everything that's came before him to then beat him. And it's a tall order for Kit. There's a hilarious video of Kit's day in the life where, he's just making jokes the whole time. I think this is kind of rolling right now. He has this one scene where he has this big sausage and he cuts off one little bite of it and then he eats the big part. And I thought that joke was so funny. I don't know why, but that just stuck with me. Just a great little swerve right there where you think he's going to take one small bite and he just eats the long end of the sausage. But I think Kit's sneakily taking this way more serious than he lets on. But
I think Kit always takes it way more serious than he lets on.
Yeah.
But I almost kind of wonder if is Kit's ability to turn anything into a joke the perfect antidote to Wagner's ability to turn anything into a diss?
Yeah.
You know what?
Fight, right?
You know what I mean? There's just a weird psychological dynamic where I don't know if Wagner can really crack into this
They
one.
do seem like oil and water in that.
There's been certain matchups where we've stuck Wagner in there. It's he's going to rattle that guy's cage. You know what I mean? That guy can get gotten to if you say the right stuff. But I don't know if Kid is that guy.
Yeah.
I think he's too silly.
It's obviously thinking about the Marigali Wagner press conference where it was whoa, this might be getting too intense, to be honest. I don't know if maybe we should cut the mics here. And obviously Marigali's a guy that you can get to transform into a freaking, I don't know, another version of himself. His aura changes completely. it didn't work. Marigali still got the win. I don't know if he's the guy you want to bring that energy. He hacked back into the freaking Marigali in the ice bath, Marigali, and still got it done. But it's kind of like you said here, like, if Vagner goes that hard at Kit, like, yeah, I'm sure Vagner will have some crazy stuff to say and he'll, pull some deep cut stuff, but Kit will also just like make a joke.
Pull out a guitar.
Write a song about Vagner trying to diss him. And it's like, it is a good antidote to someone trying to make fun of you, But
he's going to do the thing of like, Vagner has a great point. I am kind of a bitch. Yeah. Just like whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Well, you're fighting me here and we're on the main event of who's number one. So what does that say about you? Like,
so I don't know. This is going to be an interesting one. Stylistically, like, I don't even know. I don't know. Do you guys have a take on this one stylistically? Like, I'm not sure.
Give me a lot different than the Shanji match, I feel like.
Very different than the Shanji match, right? I feel like in the Shanji match, we got a chance to see Kit's passing, which is really incredible, obviously, and he was able to use some of that like headquarters and split squat pressure and build it up over time and pass Shanji's guard multiple times. It was a really incredible performance. Here, he's going to have to rely on his wrestling. If he can bring some of those same principles and problem-solving aspects to his wrestling, I think there's a great chance that he wins. I have an article coming out about Vagner Rocha. I think when people think of Vagner Rocha's style, they think of a very certain thing. Having just like watched the last like every jiu-jitsu match he's had on Flow in the last like 3 or 4 years, there's a lot more going on than I think people realize. That's really intelligent. So I'm going to be breaking down some of that. But this one's going to be decided on the feet. One of these guys is going to need to get the other guy down. And watching the way that Kid is training and watching the way that he's competed in the past, I don't think this is going to be a pushing, shoving match. I think this is going to be a very real jiu-jitsu match. Even Wagner's really leveled up his takedowns over the last like 2 or 3 years. He's much more active about getting people down, keeping them down.
Yeah, I know you were talking a lot about Wagner's back takes.
I'll spoil this from the thing. So when Vagner gets behind somebody, he like jumps onto their back. You know what I'm talking about? You even saw one of the Sainz brothers do it there for a second and just like hangs there for a long time.
It's a backpack.
It becomes a backpack. That's a really genius way for him to be taken the back. His whole style is built off the idea that he's going to not work hard. You're going to work hard. And when he jumps onto somebody's back, you're inherently working harder than him. He's not doing anything. He's just using his body weight as a static thing to force you into a position where he's eventually going to take your back. And I think it's really genius. And I think that if he gets a chance to get behind Kit, we're going to see that on Friday night. Friday night, not Saturday.
Yeah, here's some footage of Kit training at Hinzo Gracie Los Angeles. He brought in the Dagestanis. He brought in some Russian training partners for this one. So, I mean, he's expecting a battle on the feet here. But you guys can watch this on FloGrappling, obviously.
But no matter what, I'm expecting a very kind of brutal physical match here for sure. Like that is kind of what Vagner brings and what Kit Dale brings. So definitely somebody's leaving with like a black eye or something like that. It's gonna be a heavy, just brutal match, I have a feeling.
For sure. All right, let's do Nikki, I guess, is there a place where we can watch something about Donk Toss, the trailer or something that Slack could access real quick? Donktoss.com.
Donktoss.com.
All right, so you guys at this point, if you're a devout listener, our producer, Nikki, sometimes he messes things up, whether it be the audio or the video or,
sometimes he makes streams buffer.
Right.
Sometimes,
Yeah, it's like how the lights behind us started on and now there's just one on for some reason, So it's like he messes things up and we were like, Nikki, you got to tell us the truth, man. Why aren't you getting it right? Why is this so hard? And then he told us, he's like, well, I've actually been producing this show, creating my own show called Donk Toss that's going to air on ESPN2 on August 2nd, right? So it turns out August 2nd, 9 p.m., 10 p.m. Central on ESPN2. This dude created a whole show while he was supposed to be making our podcast.
Sport.
And so now we find out why we're the worst show on the internet, because he's been making the best show on actual TV, Donk Toss here. And this is shot in the Purple Bee studios here in Austin, Texas. So pretty sick. And you can pre-order these donks on donktoss.com.
So if you want to participate in the Donk Toss, you can.
I have to get a donk for the studio.
Dude, we do need a donk for the studio. We might have to bring some donks out to Miami, have some athletes do a Donk Toss promo. Nikki, hook us up with a donk before Wednesday, and we'll take it out there. We'll do some Instagram clips of it. But I mean, this is straight up, ESPN 8 the Ocho type of vibe, just some crazy sports here. Maybe we'll get Flo Donks going eventually, but I'm stoked to watch Donk Toss. It's cool that, someone associated with this show kind of created something as sick as this. So make sure you guys tune in August 2nd, 10 p.m. Central Time on ESPN2. Show some love. Let's blow that up. Let's get all the jiu-jitsu guys watching Donk Toss, and then we'll start tossing donk of our own.
Nikki,
I've been tossing donk most of my life, but in a very different way.
Nikki, is there sort of like a Michael Jordan of donk toss yet? You're the Michael Jordan of donk toss.
No way.
Okay.
There's no chance. I did hear that there's some specific rules, so you guys got to go look into all this so you know what's going on. But there was a once-in-a-lifetime moment that went down on the pilot of Donk Toss that you guys need to tune in for. It's something that has never been seen before in the donk tossing world, and it happened on this episode.
The first one.
The first one.
Wow.
I mean, that's incredible,
Wow.
So,
Well, yeah, it's the first one. Of course, it never happened before.
it's never happened before.
But like,
never
yeah, no
before.
shit. Everything on that episode had never happened before.
Yeah. So if you guys want to see a piece of history in the donk toss world, then go tune in August 2nd, 10 p.m. on ESPN.
Maybe we should just do an episode that's just us doing the donk tosses too.
Well, I want a FloGrappling show team on the next, the next episode. Yeah, who's next donk? But yeah, so go give some love for Nikki, the producer, on that one. Make sure you guys are watching that. I'm stoked for it. It's going to be sick. August 2nd is also Sarah Galval's wedding, and so we might be out there. I don't know. Might be going to a grappler's wedding, which is pretty cool. But there's the full card for everything. There's the donk toss promo for you guys. But now let's do a little draft. All right, we did this one before for who's number one. A quick little sub hunters draft. Who's got the best eye for what match is going to end in submission. So we'll go down as the team and we'll do a snake format and we'll draft the match that we think is going to end in submission. How's the points work for this one if you guys want to play at home? If they get a submission within the first judge's favor, that's 5 points. If they get a submission within the second judge's favor, 3 points. First judge's favor, 1 point. No submission, no points. And we're not picking the athlete specifically. We're just picking the match that we think will end in submission. So who wants to draft first?
How do we decide?
Nikki, choose a number between 1 and 100. All right, you weren't supposed to tell us.
Pick a second number.
Yeah, and don't tell us. You got it? Okay.
I picked 7.
Okay, Slack. Pick a number.
I'm gonna pick 7.
Okay. Pick a different
Number. The first number was 7.
I pick 84.
84, Joe.
42.
All right, I'll go 43.
Son of a bitch.
Who's closest? Yeah.
It was 7 again.
I got it. All right, my first pick is...
Why not just tell us right when he guessed it again? That whatever.
I guess my first pick for which match is going to end in submission...
It's tough, huh?
I'm gonna pick Ryan Aitken versus Roberto Jimenez.
Okay.
Big pick.
So let's just go this way. Slack next, and then we'll go around.
I'm gonna guess.
There's 11 matches, so we each pick 3. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess. Adele versus Jasmine.
Adele versus Jasmine. Good
Safe
pick.
bet. It did
you
end
make
in
note
submission.
of these, Slack?
It did end in submission the first time they fought. So.
All right. Sounds like it's my pick. I'm going to go with Lucas Lira versus Sean Yadamarco.
Okay. Oh, man. This is harder than I thought. We're going undercard too, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to go Max Hansen versus Gianni Grippo.
Ends in submission.
Yeah, ends in submission. So I got Max Hansen versus Gianni Grippo. The list went away. My next one that I'll go is we're doing snake format.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yep. I will go Tristan Signs versus Matias Jimenez.
Sick pick. I'm going to go with Andre Porfirio versus Linus von Schrank. Linus, our first German athlete to be on Who's Number One. He's a big DEMA guy. He's been training forever with DEMA. He's going to be one of the big guys over at the new gym that DEMA's opening up out there. So I think that these are 2 sub-hunters. Let's see what happens.
Where's Dima opening a gym?
Berlin.
Okay, cool.
Slack?
I'm gonna go Michael Sainz Natan.
And I'm gonna go Jake O'Driscoll versus Jay-Z Cavalcante.
Okay.
Pick.
And then I get to pick another one?
Yes.
I think so.
I'll pick Roosevelt versus Igor.
Good one. I was really heavily considering that one.
I'll pick. I'm looking at the list here, trying to get
Vagner Kit is still on the table.
Lucas.
I have Lucas Sean.
Oh, you
so it
got
looks
Lucas
like
already? Oh, right. Yeah, I'll go. I'm gonna go Jocelyn Molina.
That was what I was hoping to sneak that one late.
Yeah.
what is left?
Is that all of them?
Do we run through this real quick? I think we ran through this real quick. I will take Vagner Rocha versus Kit Dales because nobody's picked that, and I think that
That's it, huh?
yeah.
Dang. So I only got 2.
Rough.
Oh man, the odds are not in my favor.
All right.
But that's all right.
You're probably going to lose this one.
Well, I won the first, so it's lonely at the top. But
All right.
I guess that's that, huh? But if you're watching at home, then go ahead and drop your 3 matches that you think are going to end in submission in the comments, and you can play along with us. But if someone comments that match before you, you can't pick that one. So we're going in order of when the comment is made. That's who gets the right to that match. So run, don't walk to the comments and pick your 3 matches that you think are going to end in submission, and we'll see how it all plays out. Make sure you guys watch Donk Toss on August 2nd, 10 p.m. Central, and make sure you tune in July 25th to Who's Number 1 29. It's going down in Miami, Florida. If you're in the area, we probably still have maybe 2 or 3 tickets left, so go buy those last tickets. You can be there in person, and if not, watch on FloGrappling.com. But thank you all for tuning in to this episode of the FloGrappling Show, and we'll see you guys in the next one.